Hey everybody, this is Sko. I recently had the opportunity to play around with the Chinese Marvel Snap client, and I've gotten quite a few questions about it, so I thought I'd give a little tour of everything they've got. So you open it up, it looks just like ours. They've got their current season going on. Gwenpool is the season pass card. We can open up the collection, check out the cards I've got. They just recently got character mastery in their latest patch. This last patch they had was a pretty big one. We're going to show quite a few things from that one. It works just like ours. Hawkeye faces as the prize up there. This is what the collection sorting things look like. We can look through. Some of their cards are different, largely for censorship reasons. Like here's a Nightcrawler that's been censored on the face. Here, Angela's got pants on. You can see also this is a 2-0 Angela with +2. Thena, I just unlocked from their limited time game mode for free. Let's go ahead and upgrade that. I've been getting some good use out of that. Here it takes us to the collection track. We'll go back into the collection track later, but we got some Deathlock boosters, it looks like. All right, scrolling through. I'm still at pretty low CL. They have quite a few cards with different balance than ours. Here's a Grekki Black Widow I just recently opened. But my collection's not big enough to really show those to you. Here's a Coulson I just got from one of their limited time, not a mode, an event, a fishing event. They gave out this fishing Coulson for free. Looking through. Yeah, so that's my whole collection at this time. All the way up back through. Here's a deck I've been using. A bunch of decks up here. Some good low CL Marvel Snap going on. All right, check out the season pass. Again, basically the same as ours. Paid tier, non-paid tier. Variant is the final reward. The rewards for level are pretty much the same. They've got different titles though. Card back is the top prize. Gold there, still at 90. So a lot of that's the same. Let's check out the missions. Missions are, again, basically the same as ours. All right. Let's check out the shop. Their shop does have a few different things than ours. They've got, for example, this button you can push at the top that zooms you right back up to the top. So you don't have to scroll all the way up and down. Here's a welcome bundle for if you make a purchase. This is another event going on. We'll look at that a little bit more later. You can see they got a Sarah bundle, Rock Slide bundle, Leech bundle. Yeah, and here's the shop. And here's something that they have that we don't. You can refresh the daily shop one time for free. So I click that. Oh, I got all new variants. Kind of wish we had that. You want to do it again? You got to pay 50 gold. Free boosters, part of the shop, same as ours. Here's a whale track. It's basically the same as our whale track. It's the only way to unlock these is spending real money. Here's a pretty interesting Shanna variant. A Green Goblin one. And the top rewards all seem to be these pretty cool borders. They all look like they're the same kind of border up at the top there. So you spend a bunch of money, you could end up with those borders. These are some kind of cool ones too that I don't believe we have in our version yet. And that's another thing that's interesting is they have titles with color in them. We'll see a few more of those in other parts of the game. Continuing through the shop, you can Google the values there if you want to know how theirs compares to ours. Keep in mind their economy is pretty different. Here's another thing they have is an in-game leaderboard. This is another thing I wish we had. You can just access the leaderboard directly from in-client, not just on a website. You can scroll through there and see some of the top players there. And here's some information about the leaderboard. And there actually are some rewards. First place title, and then some other titles that you get. So it's not a huge reward, but you know, a colorful title. I think people probably go after those. And here's the alliance I'm in. In the latest patch, they dramatically increased the points for the alliance missions. It was pretty awful last week when I was playing. It was really low values. So I was glad to see that they improved that. It feels more attainable this time around. It was a pretty sizable difference. All right, let's go back out to the main page and let's look at some of the things that they have that we don't. Here's a spinning gacha game type thing. You can get a Black Widow. Here's the odds. So you pay 400 gold. Let's try it. I haven't done it yet. Let's try one, see what I get. It's almost definitely not going to be worth it, but let's see what I get anyway, just for fun to show you guys. Going around and around. I guess the Black Widow's the top price. I got 1,000 tokens, which I don't have any way to spend yet. A pretty cool title there. All right, so yeah, probably not worth the gold for that. Here's another thing they have. This seems to be a separate set of missions that does not expire. And this one seems to be mostly Max Grecki themed. Instead of like mission points, you get these little Avengers bucks and you earn these different variants. Here they've got a Hawkeye one. This is in the data mines for our client, and then the Thanos is the top prize. So you can get Thanos for free from doing all these missions. These missions are actually pretty hard to achieve. It's going to take you a while to work through these, but you know, some cool variants and Thanos. And then this is the part of the shop. I don't have access yet. It'll open up at 450. I'm assuming it's the token shop and some other systems like that. Here's another event going on with more currencies you can buy and spend for rolls at random loot. They have quite a bit of this kind of stuff, even more than we have. And you can see some of the things that you can open up from these, some variants, some borders. I have opened one of these and didn't even really know what I got. We'll try another one. You can buy these gems with real money to roll, but I'll spend this gold to get whatever this currency is. And again, almost definitely won't be worth it. Oh, it showed the mastery for whatever variant I pulled before it showed us the variant. That's kind of funny. Dr. Doom. Not bad. I kind of like it. Again, not really worth spending the gold on for that spin, though. Anyway, I might use that one anyway, though. I'm not going to do another one. So this bottom part is another currency part of the shop with some gems there. But I want to take you guys over to this part. This is the brand new deck lounge where you can find decks from other people, upload your decks. There's different tags and descriptions. You can click to build one of these decks in your collection. So let's click one, and it tells us there's 4 missing cards, and it'll swap those with things that we do have. So it gives us this. So it's made a couple of substitutions there based on what I have in my collection. So yeah, you do have to have the cards to be able to build the decks from there. But it's a nice new way to find decks to play. You know, you can also search for what decks. You can browse through. There's some search terms here you can enter in. The other new thing from this patch is if I click on my profile up here, I have some favorite variants that I can share. Players will see this when they click on your profile in the game. They'll see your collection level, your highest rank achieved, and they'll see your favorite 3. You can have up to 3 favorite variants. These are mine up here. And they also, if you click on the movie camera up there, there's favorite games. and your opponents can see this from within the game, or you can watch your favorite games. Here's one that I clipped earlier. And you can see the deck lists by clicking on the profile pictures. Here's the deck I used for that match. And you can even see the opponent's deck, which is something we definitely don't have access to now, to check out the deck lists of somebody you just played. I mean, that's probably one of the things I would primarily use it for, is just to see what my opponent's deck list was. So let's go over to the in-game news tab now, see what's over there. Here's information all about the current season. You can see here it's Gwenpool's the season pass card. They got these cards coming out: Hydra Bob, Ajax, Copycat, Cassandra. Here's the Spotlight caches. I have no idea if they're going to change their acquisition system like the Western version is going to. But at least for this month, there's these. And then this is the second set of cards you can get, presumably through that part of the game that I was locked out by collection level. You can see some albums coming out this month. Here's some awards they've won. I get a lot of questions about how their balance is different than ours. So let's go find the latest balance changes from the last season announcement. This top part is announcing the draft mode and the free card Thena that you get from their draft mode, and their balance changes. So they've got a little crystal change here. Sarah got a point. Man Thing up to 4-7. Shuri to 4-3. High Evo's at 4-6. And they got this changed to White Queen to 3-4 already. So they don't necessarily get them in the same order that we do. They do tend to get the same changes we get, but there's some that they still haven't gotten. Here's my inbox. Alliance rewards. There's the Thena I told you I got. We'll look at how I got that later. Some compensation for some sort of server issue. Gold there they got. Yeah, so these are all the things mostly that they have that we don't. These are the things that are different in their client. Most everything's the same, but they've got some different things. All right, let's check out the collection track. So I'm before the point of using Spotlight keys, so I get these kind of teal keys that I think are designed to teach me about the system. You can see here I progressed through Series 1 and 2. It started me on an initial set of 4 cards to open with these keys, and I opened all 4 of those, and now I'm working on my second set. You can see I got Angela here. Pretty good card in this format. Let me scroll up through to see what else I've unlocked. Yeah, and then we've got this white key, which is for, I guess, this second set. Shang-Chi I unlocked there. I'm pretty close to getting a new card. There's some more keys. And then once I get up to that 450 point that we saw I was blocked from earlier, it switches over to Spotlight keys. So I'm not yet at the Spotlight key part of the game yet. So I don't have much information on how their version of that works differently, or if they're going to change it anytime soon. I really don't know. Here you can see they have hot locations just like we do. Here's the spotlights I'm currently working on. So let's jump into a game so I can show you how that all looks. So we found an opponent. I'm playing a Thena Angela deck. I can click on the opponent's profile. It shows me their level, their favorite variants. It looks like they don't have any videos yet though. Most people I've seen don't seem to have any saved videos. I don't know if people aren't into the feature, or maybe this is a bot or something. So let's put down the Nightcrawler. Yeah, that's their Nightcrawler. The same. It's the same censored night crawlers. If they move this right here, I'll think it's a bot. Yeah, let's put Angela left there. Domino. Well, that's interesting. Ooh, that's not great. I gotta move that Nightcrawler. But it's a little awkward. I don't really want to move it mid to just get destroyed, but I also don't want to clog my Angela. I want to play more cards there. Let's see. That Nightcrawler will just get destroyed if I do that. Maybe I'll just hold the Iron Fist for later. I could sneak something into this left location that way, potentially. But it still leaves a spot free on the Angela. Oh, they moved the Nightcrawler there. It must be a bot then. Not the same indications of bots that we have. Let's see what I get here. Odin. Yeah, so they're like an Odin, Ironheart, White Tiger type of deck, probably. They snapped. I'll snap right back. I could Moon Girl and then just play 2 dinos. That seems pretty good. A dino left and then a dino mid. Oh, dodge the Enchantress. That would have been bad. I don't know if dino's going to be enough to win mid or right, though, if I play it left. If I play one left right now. I could play the Claw. Would that give me enough power to win left, though? If I can get away with winning left with the Claw, then it's an easy win. Yeah, they would have to have... I don't know what they would possibly have that would win here. Oh, White Tiger. Yeah, now I definitely know they're a bot if they're playing that over there. Yeah, so I'm close enough mid. I could challenge mid. Or I could play right dino plus an Iron Fist, probably together in the middle. Their bots are quite different from ours. Occasionally you'll lose it by just the opponent just playing a giant card somewhere. But I don't really have a way to compete for all 3 lanes. I'll just play them over here. Yeah, easy. And then I'll show you how the saved game video works. I'll click on the bottom left once it pops up. And it shows me I have 1 of my 10 slots filled. I'm going to save this one. There's ways to share it directly onto their social media, but I don't really know how all that works because I don't have those social medias. Let's look at the opponent again. Yeah, no video, but if they had a video, it would show up there, and I guess I could watch it after I have a match against them. So you can go in and you see that's the game I just played. And I can click on the profiles to see the deck lists. And supposedly you get 10 slots, but they are wiped clean each season. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but that seems to be, from my understanding, how it works, that you'll lose these at the end of the season. But it's pretty cool. You can see your deck list. You could kind of hide some deck lists in there if you're out of deck slots. You can see your opponent's deck slots. I would like to see this come to our version of the game. I think it would be pretty cool. In here, this is their game mode. So I'll click on the Conquest. So you can see they've got a Colossus variant this month. And I'll click on Draft. You can see videos of Draft on this channel. This is a prize I got that, again, is presumably for that part that I don't have the collection level for yet. And I got Thina here for doing a survey. But you can see this is locked. It's only open from 6 p.m. to midnight. And it's ending just in a couple of days. And there'll be a new season coming out that supposedly has 2 new game modes. One is high voltage, and then the other is something else that we don't have. So I will definitely be sure to try to upload some videos of that. Let's upgrade some cards now. I think I'm close enough to get a new card. Let's see what new card I get. I'll upgrade the claw here. Now, initially, I didn't have that feature to be able to do fast upgrade to skip levels. I don't know when I unlocked that, when I got my first Infinity Split, maybe, or at a certain collection level. But it does show there now on the bottom, I've just noticed. So I'll upgrade all of them. It's been interesting playing in the early part of the game because I'm just so thirsty for boosters more than anything else, whereas where I'm at in the Western version of the game, I could not care less about boosters. But the limiting currency so far for me has been boosters. Oh, we got these boosters off this for this Deathlock from the collection track earlier. I don't think we have enough to get to that next card, but we can open this one. And Storm. So that's a perfect example of a card that they have a different version of. They have the older version of. I'll probably try to play some games with this 3-2 Storm. I miss 3-2 Storm. It was one of my favorite cards. Get some credits and stuff. Okay, so be sure to head to the comments if you have any questions about the Chinese version of the game. Let me know. I'll try to answer them. And like I said, whatever new game mode they're coming out with, I'll try to also have some video footage of that. I've got this red dot, but I can't figure out what that is indicating. Anyway, you can see these missions for this track. Some of them are tied to like gain a certain amount of collection level and things like that. It takes a long time to complete that. But free Thanos at the end, I guess, as far as I can tell. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you have any more questions about this version of the game, let me know. Thanks.